quarter meeting. And so I'd like to welcome everybody here, recognized as a quorum. First item on the agenda will be the minutes from the September 25th meeting. Those should have been in your board packets that you've already received. Are there any revisions or questions anyone has regarding the minutes? If not, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve those minutes as presented. Do I have a second? Second. All right. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right. Any opposed? All right. So that will be approved. Moving on, Chris had some checks and invoices. I believe they were also in your packet. Don't know if you've had a chance to review those. Chris, do you want to make any comments on those?
No, again, just as a reminder, the budget's already preliminarily approved through the committee once a year. So these just outline the expenses, mainly through travel and conference and marketing, and a couple of new table items for when we're out there doing booths.
Any questions? Motion to approve is presented. All right. Do I have a second? Second. All right. Any further discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. So that will be approved as well. We have a director's report from Chris Scott.
Yeah, so just a couple of months between the last meeting and this one, so it is fairly abbreviated. Again, this was sent to you prior, but we wrapped up the College Savings Month with another appearance with me and the treasurer on Good Morning Arkansas. And as we moved into October, it's open enrollment season, definitely going around through the different state agencies, their benefit fairs and enrollment fairs, but also piggybacking on the private sector as well. It's the same time frame that they usually do there. So we went up to ArcBest again and participated in their Family Fun Day. And more recently, we secured a sponsorship with the Little Rock Zoo's Glow Wild. So if you guys want to head out that way at some point, you'll see some exhibits with the Brighter Future 529 sign on there. And we strategically picked the ones where the kids and their parents are going to be hanging around. That's more interactive exhibits. So it has our QR code on there. We're also on the website, social media posts, newsletters. A lot of coverage for that sponsorship. And in November, December, we worked with Communications Group and Census, of course, to develop and launch an expanded U-Gift campaign. So this, of course, includes social media content, featuring Little Rock Soiree Holiday Gift Guide. That will be this month's issue. And downloadable holiday-themed U-Gift available on our website, social media. And I was also on Good Morning Arkansas last week, encouraging people to make contributions for U-Gift as a holiday gift. Anybody have any questions?
All right. Well, then we'll move right along. Next will be a report from, it's the report that John Keith provided to the board. Looks like he updated us on some budget numbers, and also prepared a letter of engagement for Landmark, our auditor. John, is there anything else you want to add to that?
No, I don't think so. The budget report is for 4 months. I did get bank statements yesterday, and the admin account's up about 50,000 maybe, but we haven't paid the Communications Group, I don't think, this month yet, so that'll even out. It's pretty much a break-even budget for the year, and we're right on track to take care of that. I've reviewed the engagement letter. It's similar to last year. The fees have not increased in several years. They're stayed consistent with what it was last year. Main thing I looked at was our responsibility for internal control, and we fulfill that on the admin account by having a budget and not exceeding that budget. And then we also separate the payment of the bills from the reporting of the bills, which adds another little layer there of internal control. And then, of course, Census is responsible for all the internal controls of the underlying accounts and underlying investments. So I recommend that we approve that engagement letter. That's for the audit for the fiscal year ended June 30th of this year, 2025, which they're in the process of, I think they're getting close to completing that.
And they'll be coming to the meeting, given that this is approved, they'll be at the Q1 meeting to present the audit results.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Pease? All right, well, with that, then I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the engagement letter for Landmark. Second. All right. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That's what we approve.
Is the approval, is the director report an action item?
No.
Okay.
All right, we next have a report from Kimberly Shockley that should have been in your packets. Did everyone have an opportunity to review that report? All right. Any questions for Kimberly regarding that?
I just wanted to make a couple of comments if people don't have questions. If you looked at the plan summary, you can see just to be expecting some changes for next quarter's report. You're going to see an influx of accounts. Grow has strongly established itself at this point, and in October, they created over 400 accounts for students and teachers. Right now, 17% of accounts are held by beneficiaries 5 and under. We're probably going to see some skewing to that now because of the fact that all these accounts have been open for students ages 5 to 12. So want to point out the positivity of the fact that Grow has been able to move forward so quickly and really has made an impact at the school with the number of accounts they've been able to open. The other thing I wanted to speak to, which isn't part of the report, is last weekend we did our fund events for both the Brighter Future Direct and Advisor plans. So for Brighter Future Direct, we did the already scheduled roll down. So Vanguard, our partner, helped us to complete the 2022-2023 target enrollment portfolio roll down into the commencement portfolio. We also established a 2044-2045 target enrollment portfolio. And as part of the ex-China work that we've been doing, they exchanged the total international stock index into the Vanguard Developed Markets Index and into the newly launched ex-China ETF. They also exchanged the total international bond index into the existing total bond market index too. As far as our Brighter Future Advisor plan, with the help of our partnership with BlackRock, we replaced the iShares Core MSCI Emerging Markets ETF and the iShares MSCI Emerging Markets MinVol Factor ETF with the iShares MSCI Emerging Markets ex-China ETF. And we also removed the iShares Core MSCI Total International Stock ETF, merged the assets into the existing iShares Core MSCI IAFI ETF. So that was a lot of words. We've gone over it at past meetings, but just wanted to let you all know that both of those projects went off this weekend with no issues, and all the funds have been transferred. So the work that you've been looking for us to do to reduce China exposure was completed over the weekend.
All right, well, thank you, Kimberly. Anyone have any questions?
Just one question. I think that's what you said. I just want to make sure I understood. In removing the international funds to comply with the China mandate, we do still have options for both developed markets and emerging markets.
We do.
Okay.
And I'll let BlackRock and Vanguard speak more to that if they're looking to do that. But just wanted to thank them both for their partnership in this. It went very smoothly over the weekend. So.
All right, Mr. Parks' report was also in the packet that you were provided. Did everyone have an opportunity to look over that? And do you have any questions for Mr. Parks regarding that? Mr. Parks, anything you want to add to your report?
No, just that, sales growth has been good this year. Obviously, the markets have been helpful as far as that's concerned. We hit some new milestones in the state of Arkansas. We surpassed 100 million for the first time. So that's a big milestone for the state. And then we're pushing up against 900 million. So, maybe if the markets are kind next year, we could actually hit $1 billion, which would be great. Everybody's expecting a Fed cut. So that's the next kind of big news that everybody's looking for. But other than that, you can see at the bottom of the summary page that, there's green numbers across the board, both for the plan and also for the plan metrics within the state of Arkansas. We have widespread adoption. As I said, growth has been good and, long may it last.
Okay, all right. All right, and then we have Ryan Matthews. His report was also included in the packet. We reviewed that report here at the Treasury. And we had our investment managers kind of take a look at that as well. Chris, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, so this year during their annual review, Vanguard did identify some recommendations. Like Kenneth said, our team reviewed it along with myself and Kenneth. And the only kind of recommendation that you'll see in the packet that the Treasury investment team decided not to go with was their Vanguard's new end savings option. It's a new product. The administrative fees are a little bit higher compared to our current high yield Sallie Mae option. And so something we can revisit here in a couple of years once they have some historical performance.
We had no historical performance data on that, so we couldn't really tell what the return on investment was. No questions for Mr. Matthews?
My memory's right. I think the product they're offering was FDIC insured.
Yeah.
Sallie Mae product also. FDIC.
Yeah,
Okay.
up to 250.
Correct, and I'll just add a couple points. So again, we are recommending the addition of a couple of new standalone portfolio options to give Arkansans further optionality if they so choose to, create a more customized asset allocation. So that would be with the total stock market index portfolio, total bond index portfolio, and short-term bond index portfolio, which could be suitable for more of a shorter-term savings goal as we've seen the expansion of usage of 529s recently. So just wanted to add that, and also an update to the static multi-asset portfolios, just adjusting the equity exposure on those and updating a couple of the names on those to match Vanguard's Life Strategy Fund series. So happy to answer any other questions, and thank you for your consideration for those additions.
For adding the total stock market index, total bond market index, that excludes China.
Correct. That complies with Act 937, all of the recommendations for this year. And then Kim just mentioned we did have a successful update to the target enrollments to do that divestiture as well. So thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Matthews? All right. Well, with that, then I would make a motion to approve Vanguard's recommendation with the exception of the bank savings portfolio, since it does have a higher fee. We have the historical data on that.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, all right, second. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, it is approved. All right, does anybody else have any other business that needs to come before this board?
Did we need to make any decision on the investor choice piece from Vanguard or no, he said we don't have any funds that are subject to it. Right.
Correct. And Brian, you mentioned that that is expanding, right? So in the future, we could take advantage of that investor choice proxy voting.
Correct. Yes. So the eligible funds list will be expanding early next year and will continue to do so moving forward. So while the program doesn't currently hold any eligible funds, it's very possible that they will moving forward. So you're welcome. The board's welcome to select a proxy voting policy if they would like to participate. There's no cost to sign up. It's a simple email from Chris to me, and I'll update that in our system if there is interest to participate. And again, you could even pick it now, even though there's no eligible funds, but certainly at your convenience, we can make that update if you'd like to participate.
Okay.
Yeah, I think take that back and consider it.
All right.
Yeah. That would be worth looking at. Doesn't make decisions today. That's worth looking at. Or worth. I'll mention that I know when we looked at the different policies, Egan Jones, we've actually hired them, and one of their policies is the one that seems to be the most consistent with what our legislature is expecting.
Okay. All right. Yeah, make note of that, Chris. And okay. Well, no other new business.
One comment, last Thursday, we held our annual trustees conference for all the board of trustees, control, college and university board of trustees come in for professional development training, whatever. But Senator Tim Woolridge was there and publicly commented about, we were talking about scholarships and things, but he publicly commented about trying to potential legislation. Of course, his son is now on the state rep, you know, but to support 529. And he kind of asked the group if there had been states that had done that. And I recall you mentioned, I think it was Maine, that had a program where they were investing in young ones in elementary school age. So I don't know if that'll come to fruition or if that's even a thing, but I just thought I would mention to the group that there seems to be a little sentiment out there for a possible legislation that might support 529 a little heavier with investments. So
Can you clarify, is it like a consideration of like a CSA program with state funds or?
So that's what it felt like. But now, you know, what his full intention was, I'm not sure, but he said that, you know, it sounded pretty exciting to me, and I don't know if it'll, like I say, come to fruition or if they'll, you know, draft anything. But he did say that in front of the group. We had about 120 people there. So I don't know if, you know, that's certainly something that we wouldn't put forth, but it seems to be there's some sentiment to for investment in 529. And it seems like it might be a scholarship, a complement to lottery scholarship or something. It's kind of what it felt like.
We actually invest the state of Maine's like CSA program. So they have a statewide program. It's run by the Alphon Foundation where, you know, they donated a ton of money. It's close to $1 billion now, where the kids all across the state of Maine, every single child that's born in the state of Maine or residents of Maine can apply to this program. They all have money coming in through the 529 program or the foundation, you know, or both. And it's been a, you know, massively successful program, especially for a state is that small to have $1 billion that is going into.
Well, I remember we discussed it here.
Yeah.
It's been, I don't know if it was this year or late last year, maybe been a year ago, but you know, I'm commenting when he asked he kind of asked me, I was at the lecture, and if I knew of any states that had done that. And I recall that Maine had, you know, from the conversation here. So, you know, I don't know if there's anything that come of that, but it's certainly exciting. I mean,
Yeah, certainly. There's a lot of momentum right now because the Trump account program that the current administration is launching has, you know, garnered a lot of PR and attention. And so a lot of states are looking at their own programs. So yeah, that would be.
And with the Dell investment too, I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, so yeah, Michael Dell and his wife decided to invest over $6 billion. Seeding Trump accounts, $250 for kids that wouldn't actually be eligible for the initial seeding under the age of 10, because it's only the federal program. The federal program is only for kids that are born over the next 4 years, right? So, but yeah, I mean, I think that certainly there's a lot of wealth in the state of Arkansas, and you know, if any of the big corporations would be willing to sign up for a CSA program, I think it would be really beneficial to all the kids in the state and also, you know, really successful.
Yeah, and the work that we did with Grow, you know, lays that foundation.
Exactly. I mentioned that too. I mentioned Grow. Yeah, in that same meeting, I said I knew there was one community that had decided to do this, but you know, as far as statewide, Maine was the one that was up. I didn't know there were others that I was familiar, but lately familiar with that.
Well, California launched a program a couple of years ago, and that's been pretty successful. But there are a number of, you know, state programs and city programs as well, municipal programs. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of interest in that area now.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely keep a ear to the ground.
Yeah, if I hear anything more about that, I'll circle back.
Yeah, please do.
All right.
I'm curious about that.
All right, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All right.
All in favor? Merry Christmas.
All right, Merry
Thank you.
Everyone have a great day. Enjoy your holidays.
Good day.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See y'all.